And you got C major, back to D minor. You want to get that like you're talking. You could actually do this and just make fun of me, like you're me and you're talking to a microphone. Hey, what's going on? Jim here. I have taken a few takes on this because I don't like it when I'm communicating and if I'm not very clear. I beat myself up because I know how overwhelming it can get when you're learning something new. In this case, piano. So we're looking out of this book, and this is book 1. We're already at page 85. Go down, Moses, and luckily it is slow. Before I get to the keys, I just want to show some things with the music. And if you like my lessons, I'd appreciate if you hit the like button. That would be great. Also, what's happened, we've got some A minor going. In the next 2 tunes, I know you'll recognize one of them is D minor, one of my favorite keys. But let's take a field trip to the book view. And as another reminder, because of copyright, I can't show like a pristine image of it. So just keep that in mind. All right, field trip time. Here we have the pickup on A. And I'm grabbing my pencil today. Where's my pencil? No, where's my pencil? All right, we got the pickup here on E, and then we're going to talk about how sharing is caring. This E is the same as that E up there. So we got a little A minor chord action going on here. So I'm going to touch upon some pedal techniques that you can do, really just taking the time to simplify. The other thing with this piece is there's a little hand movement. Well, we got a crescendo, and then the next time the phrase repeats, it's a diminuendo. So we're really trying to create some good music here. And then we have forte. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you want to be as musical as you can, not just getting the right note. All right, so let's go to the keys. What I was talking about before, and by the way, reference, this is my middle C. So we got our E here in the right hand. I'm going to throw that guy down there so I can see it. Right hand, and then we have this. So they're sharing it, okay? So a lot of learners just kind of move over a little bit, play, and then take over. What I mean by that, you're playing here, and then the left hand says, hey, it's my turn. That is something you can do. There's a few different ways to do this. I'm aware of that, but I'm just trying to go through it slowly on how learners can adapt, because if this is the first time that you're sharing, it can be very strange. All right, so pedaling time. A minor. Make sure you can get the fingering really clear so you're not really even thinking about it, the chords. Now with the pedal. Pedal down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So my hand is gesturing, the pedal goes up right before that. And I understand for many of us, that's crazy coordination, because if you're thinking too much, if you're an overthinker, this could throw you off. So I would suggest just practice pedal down and then pedal up. Do you see how my hand went up too? Slow motion here. We're not counting anymore. Here, and then this is going up, pedal goes up. I think that's one of the concerns with pedal playing, is that we get the rhythms down, we get notes, we have some cool patterns, but then it's the pedal. And it's kind of like you're juggling 3 different things, and then all of a sudden you have to juggle 5 things. It can get overwhelming. So that might, and this could be like a 10-second thing. I'm going to try it with a few students and see what they like. I'll report back. So we got pedal down, and then keys go up, pedal up, down. Just spend a little time with that. Most importantly is you want to be aware on when the pedal goes up and down, because sometimes I just kind of forget, you know? And then there's a trance going on. All right. If you can get that down fairly well, and remember this is moderately slow, so you have to worry about speed. The other part is in this area here, you have the E down here. So you're up here, and then you have to move here. Check it out. So D minor chord. So I'm there, and then to the E. And some learners leave out the dynamics first, and then they add it. That's kind of the trickier parts I've talked about, so now I'm just going to play. Not too fast. I'm going to try to play soft, but I'm afraid that it might not get through the mics that well. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like I have to exaggerate because I don't have the volume up that high because of clipping. Pedal up and 3, 4. knows the mistake I made? 3, 4. 2, 3. And we're done. We only have 3 beats in that last measure because of the pickup. Who knows the mistake I made? Put it in the chat. It's actually right. I'll start here. Do you see? I think I played, well, let me think. 1, 2, 5 chord. 4, and stay the 5 chord. I think I went to the 1 chord. It could be because of tired brain. Page 86, we're going to D minor. Who doesn't love D minor? It's one of my favorite keys. I have a lot of songs and exercises in D minor. All right, let's cooperate. Come on, I got things to do today. Come on, all right, here we go. So, page 86. Let's go ahead and remember how to figure out a minor scale. Yes, there's a few ways of doing it. You could probably find a zillion ways on YouTube. I'm going to play F major. Right? We all know that fingering. Go up a sixth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right? So, as written with the D harmonic minor, it's all related to F, but I did say harmonic minor, which means we're raising the 7th. Beautiful sound, C sharp to the D. And we are focusing right here. Okay? So we got this going on, the C sharp. Fingering is pretty easy. I'll play it for you. And the book might bend a little bit, but I'll be nice. 1, 2, 3. And repeats on the D. And then make sure you practice a lot when you're going through this. And be aware, what's really cool about this is that you want to get into the keys and your fingers curve naturally, which is awesome. Bass time, we're up here. We got that ledger line D, okay? Just memorize that. D, C sharp, 3, A, G, F, E, D. And then that repeats. All right, so if you like my lessons, definitely hit the like button. It helps out, and I get to meet other awesome people like all of you. I also noticed when I was playing that I was saying the notes out loud, and the reason I was is I have been hanging out with a lot of students and playing, and some students who just don't like bass clef. They one student in particular, she was saying the notes out loud to just convince her brain that she can do it, and I'm moving my hand a lot, but that's all right. That's a cool thing to do. When you're practicing a little bit, you're making your mind work. Better to do that than going, I just can't get the notes down. Blah, blah. All right. The next piece, yes, it is page 87 here. Yes. And we have some dynamic action going on, pianissimo, and that's not till the end. Scarborough Fair, it's a classic. It's moderately slow for this piece. I'm going to play through it. But I'll tell you, there's something in there I think that wasn't explained, and that is kind of a finger substitution. All right, so then I'm just going to mention, I think, 3 things that can throw you off in this piece. All right, thing number 1 maybe. We will go here. All right, so if you play this, the fingers, this would be a 2 finger if you follow the 5 here, and that's you're gonna have that's an A and that's an A, so you're gonna have to go to a 3. So you have to prepare for that. So I will start here, just the right hand, so you can see 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, C, 2. So I just move that finger over so I can get to that A, because it sets us up nicely. Okay, if I did the 2, might get, yeah, that gets a little sloppy. Very sloppy, actually. The other thing that's hard, thing number 2, is when you repeat, you're going to go up an octave. And that means you're playing here at first, so the melody in the left hand. But then you are up here, which is beautiful. That might throw you off when you're going up here, and I should check to make sure my camera angle can see that. Yeah, that's good enough. Most importantly with music, see, but also here, that will throw some of you off. So one thing to combat that, I don't think we want to use that word, Jim, combat, but one thing you want to do is slow it down. Take your time with it. Maybe another thing I learned from a student, yes, I'm the teacher, but I like to learn how students think and all that stuff. is think about playing this just a bunch of times, you know? Just get on the keys and practice this. The other thing number 3 is the left hand. There's no left hand prep on this one, so that can be tricky. So you're just hanging out with D minor, and what you're doing is, my equipment's getting older as I age too, so I'm just making sure it's ticking. With the left hand, you got D minor, and then you got C major, back to D minor. You want to get that like you're talking. You could actually do this and just make fun of me, like you're me and you're talking to a microphone. But you want to get that, and then you want to get the inversion of G. Hello there. So we got this. Yeah, it sounds funny, I know, but it's right. Trust me. Because you're going to be playing and you're going to be hanging out and everything's good, right? Everything's good. Rhythm is sloppy. Yeah, you got it. What was that? Because you didn't take the time to get the fingerings down. All right, so now you guys get to, if you choose to, get to hear me play it. And what will you get out of it? Me hopefully doing things the best for everyone to thrive and succeed. Oh, and the other one at the end, you have the soft part like I was saying, and then you're up an octave. So if you are playing this up an octave, when you get to the very end, they want you to go even here. And, all right, running out of camera space, but we'll be good. Now I'm going to play Scarborough Fair, moderately slow. This tune can be played in many different tempos. I think I'm used to maybe so this will be fun to go slow. And I do think the problem area is the number 1 area is in there when you're doing both hands. That is the number 1 area. All right, so I will go and behave, and when I repeat, I will go up there. You might want to practice that. All right, I'll try to behave. That's slow enough? Hope so. Take it from here. There's something I didn't like what I did. Let's see. That was fine. It's written correctly and all that. Something about the G. I don't know. I've been composing, so I'm thinking things. Ready? I'll go again. Enjoy all the chords and the sounds you make. Like what I did there, I'm just like, why was that G speaking to me? And I don't know. I could have just played it too loud. I do know when I'm teaching a lot and I'm multitasking a lot. Some of you who've been following me, I am studying some programming. I just want to see what my brain can do until it just... but we did some good D minor action. And let's see, at a glance, we will be talking about the primary chords in D minor next time. And a folk song, Raisin and Almonds. Gotta get your almonds in. And this one's another 3/4. We got some good 3/4 going. And then next one is He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. This is going to be tricky for those who are getting new syncopation. And this one, yep, it goes into 3 different keys. So if you've been practicing diligently, you can rock this out. If you haven't, touch upon G major, C major, and F major. Until next time, I wish everyone well. I'm having a great time doing this, and I can't wait to do my big follow-up, my 5-hour review. I'm kidding, but a big follow-up on this whole book and what I think and all that stuff. All right, take care. Bye-bye. I think I smiled enough, did I? Yeah, I smiled. Okay, good.